Yo, what's going on, guys? And today, of course, we got to talk about Jordan Poole. If you guys didn't know, I grew up a Washington Wizards fan as I had moved to the suburbs of Baltimore County when I was in the 4th grade. And I remember us winning the lottery and getting John Wall. And that was right after I'd moved from Orlando. So that's hence my fandom. Either way, let's talk about Jordan Poole looking like the true future point guard of the Washington Wizards. I'm talking, this guy might be a cornerstone to believe in, to develop around. So Jordan Poole, through 10 games, might be establishing himself as the Washington Wizards point guard cornerstone under the guidance of head coach Brian Keefe. Before we start today's video, I'd like to hear your comments down below in the comments section if you guys agree with me or not. Will they keep him long term or will they trade him? Hit that like and subscribe button, it'll mean the world. Now, in Brian Keefe's first full season after taking over the helm from Wes Unseld Jr. last season, Keefe is unlocking Jordan Poole's potential, transforming him into a more efficient and impactful player. Now, it seems like through utilizing him correctly and putting his skills and the team around him in a proper environment, Jordan Poole is flourishing in his new role as the team's lead guard. And if you guys didn't pay attention, to close out last season, we saw Jordan Poole, kind of showcase this guard ability to close out the season. Now, another reason why I felt so confident was by his stellar performance in a recent game, aka last night, against the San Antonio Spurs. Last night, in the 130-139 loss to the San Antonio Spurs, Jordan Poole delivered a season-high 42 points on an impressive 15 of 22 shooting, including 6 of 9 from beyond the arc and a perfect from the free throw line. He also had 6 assists and 2 steals in just 33 minutes of play. Obviously, this isn't just to talk about Jordan Poole's scoring ability, because we always knew that, but it's his efficiency and his ability to contribute to multiple facets of the game. Last year, he was a combo guard. I believe he played 66% of his minutes at the point guard spot and 33% of them at the shooting guard spot. This year, 99%, I think he's only played point guard. And he's embraced this increase in responsibilities and has been the table setter, the man who orchestrates the offense and play makes. I think if you see just the shift, it's evident in his statistical improvement from 23 to 24 to this year. Poole, obviously, he's been playing about the same minutes as a game, but in terms of his efficiency, Poole's field goal percentage has risen from 49.4% to 57% from the field. Obviously, that's a 7% improvement 10 games through the season. That's obviously going to go down. And Brian Keefe, who is more known for his defense and player development, he's a guy who has coached both offense and defense. And you can tell that his schemes that he's putting out there for Jordan Poole is playing to Poole's strength. He's seen his 3-point percentage. Obviously, it's going to, be really high in the 40s, being super efficient there as we're super early in the season, but he's putting up a bunch of shots. We're talking, he's almost hitting 8 field goals a game, which half of those are almost, I think more than half of those are 3-pointers. And then he's out here dishing 5 assists a game. And I feel like every game we see him, passing the ball a little bit more, being a little bit more assertive in his facilitating. And he's still scoring really efficient, even though he's being the number one, guy getting the attention from the defense. And his turnover rate is decreased in, almost the same, but still, under Brian Keefe's coaching, Poole is showing that under this leadership role and with proper player development by playing to his strengths, we're seeing Brian Keefe leverage Poole's playmaking abilities and scoring talents to help the team out. So it's not always a void. And guys like Bilal Coulibaly and Corey Kispert are helping him out. Coulibaly's averaging 15 points and almost 6 rebounds a game, is just a two-way threat that I love. Kuzma's out there averaging 16 and 6. I don't know if I really feel like Kuz is going to get traded this year, but he's out there being a stellar guy. Another thing is Jordan Poole has shown improvements on the defensive side. First off, just he's trying out there, which is evident, but he's averaging like 2.5, steals a game. And yeah, the team's overall performance isn't going to reflect how, Poole's playing, as this team is clearly tanking. They're trying to get themselves Ace Bailey or Cooper Flag, but until then, I think this is going to be a really interesting situation, as I think Jordan Poole's transformation under Brian Keefe was best case scenario, because I always said when they did the trade, this was going to be kind of like Eric Gordon to New Orleans Hornets at the time. Getting Eric Gordon, where like he was a borderline all-star, or he was an all-star. I think he was a one-time all-star, and he's like was the team's cornerstone for like a solid amount of years. Then he helped bring in, what was it, the Drew Holiday trade, was it? But besides that, I think you just look at this team and you understand, like, hey, this is a squad right here. You have, obviously, like I said, I think Kyle Kuzma is going to be on his way out, but with Jordan Poole, having this high tempo offense that we're seeing, that Brian Keefe is, pushing the pace a lot more and really playing to the strength, because Poole's speed and agility in transition has been leading to easy scoring opportunities. And then they're doing a lot of pick and rolls, placing Poole as the pick and roll ball handler with guys like Kyle Kuzma and Jonas Valanciunas, and we have their other bigs like Marvin Bagley, Rashawn Holmes, and the rest of the guys going over there to, create mismatches or just space for a Poole to shoot. And his off-ball movement this year, his ability to move without the ball, was always something he did with Curry. But he's been able to create space and confuse defenses, or just create space for his teammates. As I said, it's fun to see him with Corey Kispert out there. What's cool is his improvement as a shooter. I thought was awesome to see his efficiency going up there and being empowered to be out there. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, though, if you guys agree with me. I know Alex Sarr and Keyshawn George and the rest of the young guys are there. First off, I think Keyshawn George is a point forward. I like Keyshawn George. I really don't know what we're expecting there. I always just kind of thought, maybe like a 3-point shooting with a little bit of playmaking. I always thought it was the 3-point shooting that people really liked with him. But I know we need to build around, Bilal Coulibaly. Hopefully, worst comes to worst, Alex Sarr is just a defensive dynamo who's going to go ahead and put himself in position to be the guy that needs to be here to, take advantage of, just going ahead and being the defensive guy that we know he can be, as he is possibly, worst comes to worst, not going to be an offensive player, but can be a really good defensive player. Outside Alex Sarr, Carlton Carrington's, again, I've always thought more of a shooting guard, combo guard, who can play 1 through 3, as we see he's been playing off of there. Bilal Coulibaly, I think you take out Kyle Kuzma, you put Sarr at power forward, and you start running Jonas more at starting center. And I love Corey Kispert. I don't know. I guess the goal would be Jordan Poole, Carlton Carrington, Corey Kispert, Keyshawn George, and Alex Sarr, but I just think that's too small and not a true power forward there. But maybe we'll see that by the end of the year. Let me hear your guys' thoughts. It's fun finally watching the Wizards with hope.